Welcome back to some more Miyakashi. So where we last left off, we read some tips, and then all this, and some very crazy shit happened because while the stun gun killed the old hag, Shion whipped the shit out of her while she's still dead. And Mion was like sitting in a corner in her cell, and she was like all freaking out and crying. But yeah, this was all part of Shion's revenge. So let's continue. I am looking forward to this one. Oh, thank God the music is gone. I was having such a happy dream. Satoshi-kun was in the dream. He was leading his normal everyday life. He was back on the baseball team. Ivory and I acted normally around him because we knew that's how mature people should act. We welcomed him back as if he had been here with us the whole time. Although he hits well in practice sessions, he still doesn't do well in the real game. Come on, Satoshi-kun, 3 strikes already? I'm cheering for you. Then Satoshi-kun pouted as he mumbled. I felt tears pouring down my face. Oh, sniffle. Sniffle. Satoshi-kun. Oh. Wow. I don't even know what's going on. The happy dream faded out with my sobs. The harder I tried to focus on it, the faster it faded. Soon it was all gone. I could see the bright morning sun through a crack in the curtains. I was in Mion's room at the Sonozaki house. When did I come back? I was crouching in the corner of the room and crying. A dream is a dream. I wish I hadn't woken up. But one must wake up from a dream. We live in a world where there are no dreams, and that's why we always wake up. But I wasn't sure if I was the only one dreaming that dream, because I felt like Satoshi-kun was right beside me. Satoshi-kun, did you come back? There was no reply. That was the rule. If it was Satoshi-kun, I wish he'd smile at me just once. But Satoshi-kun's presence faded away as if he were never there to begin with. I heard the phone ring by the front door. That's right, I was the only one in the house now. I had to answer it. If Shion's the only one in the house, in the Sonozaki house, then would she be the successor? She killed off the old hag and put Mion in jail in her in that underground storehouse of some sort. Storehouse. I would say torture room. Fuck it. I had to answer it. I got up to walk to the front door. I felt unsteady, so I put my hand on the wall to support myself. I hardly got any sleep. It was like I had a bad cold. The phone continued to ring. I probably didn't have to answer it, actually, but I was still half asleep and all I could think of was answering the phone. Hello, Sonozaki residence. Sorry to call you so early. It's Kimiyoshi. Is your grandma still sleeping? It was Uncle Kimiyoshi. She is, yes. I guess she's still tired from yesterday. I think I'll let her sleep in. Yeah, you probably should. Mion-chan, you're going to school, right? Can I leave a message with you? Sure. What is it? Let's see. There will be an emergency meeting regarding the incident from yesterday. It'll be at the Shrine's Assembly Hall starting at 5 p.m. Did you get that? Yes. I'll give her the message. As soon as I put the phone down, it rang again. Hello, Sonozaki residence. Good morning. Sorry to call you so early. This is Kasai. Is this Mion-san? Good morning. Kasai-san. Good morning. Is Shion-san still there? I wasn't panicked, but I hesitated. I could tell him no, or I could play both Mion and Shion. Shion was washing her face for just now. I'll get her for you. I decided to play 2 parts. I went back and forth down the hallway and picked up the phone again. Kasai? Morning. Good morning, Shion-san. Are you going to school today? Of course not. I feel miserable. I kind of expected that. By the way, how are you getting back to Okonomiya? I can have someone come pick you up. I think I can get a ride from Uncle Kimiyoshi or somebody else. Don't worry, I'll figure something out. Your father told me to make sure you go to school often enough. I'd appreciate your cooperation. Yeah, I'll go when I feel like it. By the way, Kasai, did you hear? What about? You know, the incident from last night. Yes, I have. How truly horrifying. All the past victims were war criminals from the damn conflict, right? But it's different this year. What do you think about that? I don't really know. Kasai wasn't the type to talk too much. If it was about something complicated, he usually responded like that. Do you know why those two fell under the curse of Yashiro-sama? No. I heard this last night. Supposedly, they snuck into the ritual storehouse during the festival. They used a metal wire or something to unlock the door. Kasai went silent for a while. I held my breath while waiting to see how he responded. I expected him to say that he couldn't believe those people were chosen as victims just for sneaking into a storehouse. I expected him to say that it was just too unrealistic. I see. That was stupid of them. Since Tomitaki-san was an outsider, I bet he didn't know. I went along with Kasai, but I felt disturbed on the inside. Kasai didn't wonder why breaking into the ritual storehouse would justify their deaths. I'd known Kasai for a long time, which is why I knew there was a heavy meaning to what he said. By the way, Kasai, actually, I did it too. Did you go in? Yeah. You went into the ritual storehouse, Shion-san? Yeah. Takano-san invited me. Takano-san, Tomitaki-san, and remember Keiichi who just moved here recently? Him and me. To make 4 of us. I heard Kasai sighing heavily. Even though he didn't say a word, I could tell he was shocked. I never known him to act this way before. Shion-san, don't you remember what happened last year? How do you think you can take care of this? Last year was 3 nails. So maybe 5 this year? No words. Sorry. I wasn't trying to make light of the situation. I knew I shouldn't have done it. I regret it at least a little, but is it really that terrible a thing to do? You are related to the Sonozaki main family, after all. Do you really think people would understand? But I've been living in Okinomiya all my life. Since the hag hated me, I've barely been to Hanamizawa. Besides, I was stuck at school. How would I know about any of that? I heard another sigh from Kasai. That sigh told me my excuses would be useless. Shion-san, I am your ally. I want to support you as much as I can, but there are dangers even I can't protect you from. Besides, sorry, Sis is here. I've got to go. See ya. Click. I interrupted Kasai and hung up. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear Kasai reject me. He who had been my ally all my life. Shit. Damn it. I could hear the sound of the cicadas. The sound made it feel like I was being cooked on a huge frying pan, making a sizzling noise. I couldn't help feeling remorseful. Now I knew that sneaking into the ritual storehouse wasn't a laughing matter, but I really didn't know it at the time. Sure, the door was locked, so they didn't want anyone to go in. Then why did they change the lock? What did they say? I think it was that Rika-chama said that the previous lock was too heavy for her, so she had to change to that cheap one. Why didn't she tell the other people to pick it up then? Let the other people pick up the heavy lock. The cheap one. That was how Takano-san broke in. If the heavy lock was still there, this wouldn't have happened. Well, no shit. I slapped my own forehead. Then I took a deep breath. I had to calm down. What was the point of fussing now? I'd already passed the point of no return. There was no use thinking otherwise. The hag was already dead. Even if she wasn't, she was now at the bottom of the well. Therefore, it was already past the point where I could just cut my fingers off in apology. Well, there's no need to. The hag isn't here. I felt so unstable. I'd walked on the fence, around the swings at the park before, as if I was walking on the tightrope. It was fun because even if I fell, it was only a very short distance. But it wouldn't have been fun if I were up really high. At that very moment, I was in fact already on the tightrope that was a lot higher than the fence of the park. As soon as I took a step, the rope behind me would vanish. I couldn't step back because there was nothing behind me. That was, in short, the current situation I found myself in. Just standing in one spot was all I could do. Even if I never took another step, I'd fall if I wasn't careful. If I forced myself to walk, the danger would only increase. But if I didn't move, I would fall eventually. I couldn't see what was ahead of me. There was no guarantee that I'd ever find firm ground. But if I stopped, there was only one fate waiting for me. I had to move onward. If staying here guaranteed death, then I'd rather try to walk, even if I die as a result. Even if there was a dead end ahead of me, at least I tried my hardest. In general, I tried to be optimistic. I could accept my life not lasting particularly long, but I wouldn't go easily. I struggle as much as possible. I'd already killed the hag, for that there could be no other punishment than death. I knew my life would end soon. In other words, I was actually already dead. A dead person has nothing to lose. That means I could only go on the offensive. I clenched my fists tightly as I muttered. Even if I had to die, I couldn't die easily. This was my chance to avenge Satoshi-kun. Who did it, for what purpose, and why? I was going to investigate. I was going to question. I was going to expose. Yes, I was going to settle the score. I'd carry out the plan I came up with yesterday. I could hide the hag's death somehow. All I had to say is that she hadn't been feeling well since Watanagashi. I could do it all while pretending to be Mion. Just in case her friends at school became suspicious, maybe I'd start telling them I hadn't been feeling well either. In fact, I did feel groggy from my lack of sleep. When I became Mion, Shion would automatically disappear. I had already told Kasai that I snuck into the shrine storage, so he'd probably end up telling people that I was demoned away due to the curse of Yashiro-sama. The last person I had to think about was the fourth one, who snuck into the ritual storehouse, Keiichi Maibara. Maybe I can use him as bait to lure out the enemy. Sorry, Kei-chan, you're going to be my bait. I felt a little bad, since I was starting to like him. Well, I can tell. Now you're going to use him. That's kind of a dick move. She's in a situation there. With all that figured out, let's go to school. I'd gone to school as Mion before, so I knew how things worked. It was almost time to leave the house. Mi-chan, you're late. Huh. You waited? You should have just gone on ahead. Hey, Mion, your face is red. You're breathing heavily too. Mi-chan, are you not feeling well? Reina put her hand on my forehead. Reina, your hand is pretty cold. Mi-chan, you're a little bit warm. It's no big deal. Give it half a day and I'll be fit as a fiddle. Are you really okay? You don't have to push yourself, you know. What's this? Kei-chan, are you worried about me? That's nice of you. It's just like in Chapter 2. Except, I'm looking at Keiichi's sprite right there. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't have muscles. I'm drawn on him, I mean. That's nice of you. I always thought he was a goofball, so I was a little surprised. I thought they would tease me, but they didn't. I just think you shouldn't push yourself so hard. We can tell the teacher you had to take the day. We can tell the teacher you had to take the day off. I'm fine. I took some medicine. I think it's already working. Okay, then let's go. Don't overdo it, but of course there's the time. What? Well, we need to run or we won't make it. This morning got pretty thrilling. Maybe it's just what I need to shake off the sluggishness. Let's run. Now we're at the school. Finally. Oh, goddamn bell. Shion posing as Mion, going to the Hinamizawa school, revisiting for when she hasn't done it for a year or two. I don't know. President, if you would. Uh, Everybody stand up. At attention. I'd made the same mistake before. I never learned, do I? Do you think Michan is doing okay? She doesn't look good. Oh, really? How unfortunate. It was a good idea to make them believe I was sick. Even if I did things differently from Mion, I had an excuse. Well, girls have those days when they just don't feel well. I don't have those days. Nippa. Mion's friends kept each other occupied and left me alone. Keiichi, my brara. He might suddenly disappear one day. I couldn't let that happen. That would be like letting a fish take the bait and swim away while I was fast asleep with a fishing pole in my hands. I couldn't miss the moment the enemy took a bite out of Keiichi. I had to be very careful, but it was impossible to keep my eyes on him 24 hours a day. Spying on him at school like this wasn't good enough. Should I have him meet with Shion and let her explain that he's in danger? Maybe we could set up a strategy together. I didn't think Keiichi realized how serious a crime it was to step into the ritual storehouse. I hadn't, after all. Since last year, all the incidents that related to the curse had probably been investigated in secret. People involved with the three families would know about the incident from last night, but Keiichi shouldn't know anything. If he knew where he stood now, he'd be more cautious too. That should make him aware of his surroundings, and maybe he would notice if anything odd took place. The teacher caught him sleeping, so she ordered him to go wash his face. He walked out into the hallway. I was sleepy too. I had to be alert, but I couldn't clear my mind due to my lack of sleep. I decided to go home early. Since I'd been pretending to be sick this morning, my request was approved. As I exited the building, I saw Keiichi washing his face. I thought you'd be out here. It feels better outside, huh? Mion? Ugh, no cutting class now. It looked like it felt refreshing for him to wash his face with cold water. I washed my face too, but it didn't feel as good as it looked. Mion, how's your cold doing? You're sleepy because of the medicine, not from lack of sleep, yeah? Hmm? Actually, this is a secret, but after the festival yesterday, I got wrapped up in the party my relatives were having. And well, I had a bit gulp. I pretended to drink with an invisible glass. Are you hungover? How old are you? Keiichi exaggerated his reaction, but he still seemed worried. Okay, later. I'm going back. Be careful on your way home. Don't wobble into a sewer or a brook, got it? Keiichi turned around to go back to the classroom. Oh, one more thing, Kei-chan. I stopped Keiichi. He, in response, turned around. What's up? This may sound weird, but don't think too hard about it. Well, depends on what it is. Last night, near the end of the festival, did you see Toмотaki-san or Takano-san anywhere? I noticed Keiichi's body tense up. Oh boy. It's just like in exactly from second chapter. Body tense up. His reaction proved that he felt guilty about sneaking into the ritual storehouse. He was frightened that Mion Sonozaki might know about it. I guess this was enough to give him a certain impression of Mion Sonozaki. You know, Tomotaki-san and Takano-san, don't you? You remember, Kei-chan, when the four of you were talking during setup the day before? I could clearly see how this made Keiichi felt. He was trying to come up with an excuse. I can't remember. I might have seen them or not. He was both a bad liar and a bad actor. He wasn't really that intelligent at all. Well, that would make him a suitable friend for Mion. He was just a brat, unlike Satoshi-kun. Although, when it came to lying and acting, Satoshi-kun was at about the same level. Maybe Keiichi should be credited for at least trying to tell a lie. Satoshi-kun wouldn't have even said a thing. I didn't need to be thinking about him right now. Huh, I see. Then one more question. On the same night, did you see Shion? This was a very mean question. Keiichi was perplexed, as I had expected. Didn't you ask me that yesterday? I think I told you that I wasn't sure if I had or not. Huh? I'd asked him that yesterday? He must have meant that Mion Sonozaki asked him that question. In other words, she asked him that after he left the storehouse and got back together with his friends. Damn you, Mion. When I asked her, she said she'd had no idea we went into the ritual storehouse. Shit. Did you? I guess I just thought I'd get a different answer if I asked you again. Why are you so intent on knowing if I did or not? He was getting defensive. Keiichi couldn't hide his panic, as he flared up at me. It's not important, it's just that there are some people who are speaking poorly of Tomotaki-san, Takano-san, Shion, and you, Kei-chan. I didn't really hear what they were saying, though. Keiichi was really perplexed now. This wasn't fun at all, but it could still be an interesting game. I don't believe that you were doing something bad. I just wanted to ask a bit about it, so I did. Sorry for making you uncomfortable, okay? I made sure Keiichi felt a sense of crisis, then left. Well, that was something. Nobody can tell us apart. We're Mion and Shion, perfect twins. Notebook, page 186. Well, that's true. Let's see what happens next. When I returned to the Sonozaki house, I saw a woman with an apron on. It was a housekeeper. Her name was Shimiko-san. The hag had a few housekeepers who took care of the chores around the house. Ah, Mion-chan, I'm glad you're here. Hey, Shimiko-san, can I help you? Today was her turn to come help out at the house. She'd arrived, but the gate was locked and she couldn't get in. She'd called, but there was no answer, so she had been just standing there, not knowing what to do. Something must have happened to Granny at the festival. She's been in an evil mood ever since last night. Ah, I see. Shimiko-san, try to remember if she had done something wrong. She isn't ignoring you, she's just sleeping. She was up until very late, so I bet she can't wake up yet. You know how she is, right? Once she gets into this mood, it'll take a long time for her to be happy again. Yes, that's too bad. I think it might be better that you don't show up for a while. Even if you don't mean to upset her, Granny might take it the wrong way. Just let me take care of it. I see. Are you sure? I'm very grateful, though. Sorry to make you do this, but could you let the other housekeepers know that they don't need to come for a while either? When Granny feels better, I'll give you a call. So let's just leave her alone for now. Shimiko-san bowed, then left on her bicycle. Anyone who had ever experienced Granny's wrath would understand. I headed into Mion's room, set her alarm clock for 2 p.m., and crawled into her bed. I needed to recover quickly. I had to be sharp, calm, and cool-headed. School should be out by 2 p.m. Maybe I'd get in touch with Keiichi. I'd have to call him. There would also be a staff meeting at the Fruit Shrine Assembly Hall in the evening. All the leaders of the three families, their relatives, and the town council members would gather at this meeting. They were all authority figures in Hinamizawa. I'd be attending in place of the hag who was sick. I'd worry about the rest when I got there. People should notice that Mion and the hag were missing for a long time. I didn't need to worry, so as I had plenty of time. I checked the alarm once more, then fell asleep as if someone switched me off. Oh, goddamn phone. Hello? Ah, this is Sonozaki. Well, the younger one. Hello? Do you have the time to talk right now? Shion, I thought you'd be sleeping in today with a hangover, same as Mion. What? My sis had a hangover? That's so like her. Keiichi had no idea that the Mion he saw earlier was actually me. He didn't notice when we talked in person, so there's no way he would notice on the phone. I never knew that playing two roles would be so much fun. To feel such enjoyment in this game of life or death, maybe I was getting used to this situation. Or maybe my senses had gone numb. Whoops, sorry. My parents are waiting for an important call, so I can't talk for too long. What do you need? There's something I wanted to talk about, but if we can't talk long, I guess that's that. Then how about we meet in person? If you could show me where the library is too, that would be great. You mean the public library near the station? Yes, that's fine. I go past there on my way to work anyway. We decided to meet in Okinomiya. It wasn't easy to get there from Hinamizawa, but I had to hurry. I couldn't run into Keiichi as he was heading there himself. I recalled that the key to the hag's motorcycle was in her secret drawer. The hag usually got driven around for public events, but when she had her own errands, she rode her motorcycle. Keiichi, I assumed, was going to ride his bicycle. I tried to get to Okinomiya before he did. Keiichi arrived quite a bit later than me. Motorcycles are faster after all. There were hardly any traffic lights to worry about on the way here either. Wow, Mion never keeps her appointments. I mean, honestly. Making my sister the standard for everything will get you in trouble. You're a little unsteady. You were drinking last night too, weren't you? Don't try to hide it. You definitely went home from school early. Oh, too bad. I've been at home all day from the beginning. I'm smarter than my sis, after all. Hey now, I don't think you can call playing hooky smarter. You should finish your errand first. We don't have that much time. We're going to the library, right? Yeah, thanks. My mom had to return some books by today. Is the library far? No, it's right nearby. I meant it when I said we didn't have much time. I had to hurry a little. I was just going to talk to him on the phone, but I ended up coming all the way to Okinomiya. After our talk, Keiichi would slowly head back to Hinamizawa on his bicycle. I'd have to rush back there while making sure I didn't run into him. Otherwise, I couldn't make it on time for the meeting. Maybe I could be a little late, but since I needed to hear everything they were going to discuss, I didn't want it to be. This was the Shishibone Public Library. It was sizable, filled with a collection of moldy, smelly books. Ugh, that's nasty. Happens to me every time whenever I go to a public library. But they did have air conditioning and it was quiet. It was the perfect place for when you wanted to be alone. After Satoshi-kun disappeared last year, I came here a lot to think about various things. This was where I first met Takano-san. I didn't want to run into her with Keiichi in tow. But then I remembered that she was already dead. Well, no shit. You don't have to worry about her at all. You don't have to worry about her annoying the shit out of you or some bullcrap like that. She was already dead. The first floor of the building was occupied by government offices. The library itself was on the second floor, so we had to walk up a huge staircase to get there. I tasted cool air on my skin as soon as I walked through the automated door. Unlike outside, it was very quiet in here. The room temperature was both comfortable and suitable for books. I could smell the scent of old pages. All libraries smelled the same. Keiichi walked up to the return table after he said so. Because it was a weekday, there was hardly anyone around. It really was very quiet. I was going to chat about some ordinary things and then move on to the next main subject. After Keiichi returned the books, I invited him into the inner section of the library. Keiichi knew Mion well, but he didn't know me at all. He showed an interest in our life story. This was exactly where Takano-san told me about the true history of Hinamizawa a year ago. I was about to tell Keiichi about things that were very similar to that. Did God have a sense of irony? I don't know. Now that you mention it, that toy store looked like it was managed by relatives as well. Does that mean they operate Angel More too? I told him the reason why the Sonozaki family was so powerful in this area. I assumed that since Keiichi came from the city, there was a good chance he couldn't even begin to understand how one old family could literally control an entire area. Unless I explained to him how powerful the Sonozaki family was, he wouldn't understand what kind of danger was barreling toward him. The family is particularly strong in finance and real estate. Even a lot of members of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry either have this last name, Sonozaki, or are their relatives. There are Sonozakis in the city council and the prefectural assembly too, since they have the Okonomiya area giving them strong electoral support. Wait a minute, this is all escalating pretty quickly. Your relatives operate shops in downtown Okonomiya, and they're especially strong in finance and real estate. On top of that, a lot of people in the Chamber of Commerce and Industry are relatives, and there are even some elected to local offices. Keiichi counted with his fingers. He was clearly surprised to hear all that about the Sonozaki family. It seemed he was flexible enough to accept even something that sounded outrageous to him. He was starting to understand things, although slowly. The way he viewed Shion Sonozaki was changing little by little too. That should be enough background information. Now I could go on to explain about Mion Sonozaki, the successor. Then I changed the subject, like Takano-san did with me. I'd go on to talk about the curse of Yashiro-sama and then the series of mysterious deaths. So then, the Sonozaki family, it's pretty famous in this area? Yep, crazy, isn't it? Oh god, it's Oishi. You just had to butt in. A fat man with a cigarette suddenly cut into our conversation. Oishi, why was he here? Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Are you on a date today? Ah, what I would give to be young again. If you thought we were on a date, then why are you bothering us, Oishi-san? What timing. It couldn't be coincidence. I knew this man too well. He was crafty, sly, and clever. His presence here just can't be a coincidence. Did he see us somewhere in town and follow us? But why? Did he need something from me, Keiichi, or perhaps the both of us? From what I could guess, I didn't think it was me that he wanted something from. It was almost like he was trying to keep Keiichi away from me. Oishi was aware I gave false testimony to protect Satoshi-kun last year. Maybe he didn't think he could talk to Keiichi if I was around. Why did Oishi need to talk to Keiichi? It must be about the incident from yesterday. I'm sure there were plenty of plainclothes officers at the festival, so they had to have seen who was last with the victims. In other words, Keiichi and me. But Oishi knew I was hard to deal with. That was why he was focusing on Keiichi at present. Why did he have to show up at a time like this? That's a very good damn question right here. Maibara-san, right? You're one tough guy. Two-timing the Sonozaki sisters, are you? No, I'm not two-timing anyone. Keiichi looked at me, hoping for assistance. He blushed. The way he panicked reminded me of Satoshi-kun. That aside, this wasn't going well. Oishi might even start talking about my relationship with Satoshi-kun. I didn't want him to, nor did I want Keiichi to have any preconceptions. Oishi took a quick glance at me. Oh, you fucking piece of shit. His eyes told me something. He was he was purposefully talking about the things I'd rather not talk about. He was basically telling me to leave, or he'd continue on to something that was worse than what they were currently talking about. He didn't use words, but his eyes clearly communicated that anyway. Damn that big fat weasel. I would say the same exact thing. I'm sorry, Kei-chan. I really do need to get to my job. Huh? Oh, you do? Hmm. Oh, you do? I realized that I wouldn't achieve anything like this, even if I stayed longer, so I used my part-time job as an excuse to leave. Oishi looked at me and grinned. Damn it. He won today, but I'll win next time. Oh my god. It's like Oishi is like, yeah, my plan worked. Well, congratulations. You just had to ruin the fucking date. God damn it. Damn it, he won today, but I win next time. Blah, blah, blah. Wait, didn't you have something to talk about today, Shion? Yep, I'll see you later. Oh, I'll give you a call after I'm done. It'll be okay to call at night, right? Yeah, probably okay. Then I'll talk to you later tonight. Bye. Oh, how exciting. It just had to end like that. Alright, I'm just going to end this here for now. So, next part, we're going to figure out what's happened next after she left the library. Just because this is like the same exact, this is like chapter 2, Watanagashi, but in Shion's perspective. So, like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys later.